All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Booze and Hacking. I am your host, Dark Hoodie, and we are back with another Try Hack Me room. This one is called Bedrock, named for the famous animation of the Flintstones. And as you see here, we see a picture of the Great Gazoo, who was always a thorn in Fred Flintstone's side, along with a picture of Fred and his homie Barney. And as you see, we have started the room. There's our IP address. And there is a description here, so let's see. It says, Barney is setting up the ABC web server and trying to use TLS certs to secure connections, but he's having trouble. Here's what we know. He was able to establish Nginx on port 80, redirecting to a custom TLS web server on port 4040. There is a TCP socket listening with a simple service to help retrieve TLS credential files, meaning a client key and certificate. There is another TCP helper service listening for authorized connections using files obtained from the above service. Can you find all the Easter eggs? And there are, let's see, there are 4, flags to be had here. And before we begin, let's talk about what we're drinking. This is Landshark Lager Island Style Lager beer. And the most I can say about this beer is that it is quaffable, very quaffable. It is easily a very standard beer. The percent is not high at all. It's about, let's see if I can read what it says on the bottle. Not very high. It's probably 5% or less. But it is a smooth, easygoing beer. This is a very sort of everyday beer. You could plow through a bunch of these. It probably wouldn't give you that much of a buzz, unless you went through a whole 12-pack. But goes down easy, goes with everything. And if you fancy a drink, by all means, grab yourself something, and let's get back into the room. So, again, the Bedrock room, I already ran my Nmap scan using my favorite script. And so let's take a look and see what we're dealing with here. So far I see port 80, as mentioned before, is open, so is port 22. And we see here also discovered port 54321. And there's also port 9009. Open port 4040, we mentioned that before. And we're scrolling down. Let's see what else there is. Oh, there's port 65530. Oh, that says it's closed. Okay. Well, we can't bother with that. So port 22 is running SSH. Open SSH over Ubuntu. Here's port 80, which is running the aforementioned Nginx. And there's a title thing here, did not follow redirect to 10.10.51.150 port 440. That is our IP address for the day, and there's the port there in question. I see over 4040, there's OpenSSL. And here is the reference to the SSL certificate. And it looks like there is the certificate there. And it looks like this is probably referencing what we would get if I launched a browser, which I'm going to need to do. or these are all HTML code. There is 9009, which is open. It's running something called PyChat. So we'll take a look at that, see what that's about. What are you looking for? That's something interesting to see. And here's 54321 with OpenSSL. Here is another certificate, another key as it were. TLS randomness does not represent time. Next service fingerprint. Okay. Well, that's about all we need for the time being. Let's go ahead and take that IP address and put it in our browser. All right, we got a little certificate warning here. Potential security risk ahead. I'm going to say go ahead with that. Here we go, invalid security certificate. So I suspect we'll be doing some certificate stuff today. Did I just click the wrong thing? All right, let's try again. Advanced. We are going to accept the risk and continue. All right, here we go. So over port 4040, welcome to ABC. We're in the process of building a website. Can you believe this technology exists in Bedrock? I cannot. Barney is helping to set up the server. He said this info was important. Hey, it's Barney. I only figured out Nginx so far. What the hell is a database? Bam Bam tried setting up a SQL database, but I don't see it running. Looks like it started something else, but I'm not sure how to turn it off. He said it was from the toilet and over 9,000. Need to try and secure connections with certificates. All right, so let's take a look at the source code, see if there's anything here that's worth looking at. And no, there's nothing here. So with that in mind, I did a little research on this, and one of the things that I've learned is that since they have the TCP service running so that they could retrieve certificates, we're going to have to use something called SOCAT. And I will go ahead and search for SOCAT here so we can get a better understanding of what it's all about. Getting started with SOCAT, a multi-purpose relay tool for Linux. If you need an advanced sysadmin tool for your toolbox, this is the one. SOCAT allows for bidirectional data transfers from one location to another. I won't go into all these details, but apparently SOCAT will help us with our SSL sockets, among other things. It says this tool is regarded as the advanced version of Netcat. And Netcat is already thought of as the Swiss Army tool of pen testing. So it says they do similar things, but SOCAT has more additional functionality, such as permitting multiple clients to listen on a port or reusing connections. So here's the syntax, SOCAT, and then there are options to go by, and then the proper addresses. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to a terminal, and here's an example, right? So we have SOCAT, the TCP, the IP address would go here, or a website, and then colon, and then the port. Now, I believe if we went back to our scan for a second, (9009) seems to be whatever this PyChat is. There's a little hint here. It says, what are you looking for? And we're looking for certificates. So that is going to be what I'm going to pump into our terminal here. So I'm going to do this and then TCP. I don't think I need the 4. Should just automatically default to that. And then my IP address is 10.10. I think it was 51.150:9009. It says 2 addresses are required. So what did I screw up here? Oh, I forgot the, I think the dash. Let's try that again. There was a dash in between them. Let's see if this does it. Oh, here we go. So there's that welcome ABC. What are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for a certificate. So I'm just going to jump ahead and see what that says. Oh, here we go. And it's giving me a certificate. Okay. So that's one. But we are supposed to get a key as well. So now I'm going to ask for a key. And here we have an RSA key. So that's good stuff there. So let's see. I need to copy the certificate and the key. So first, I'm going to go into my, open up another tab, because I think I already have a certificate CRT there, which I know is not the same thing. So I may have to get rid of that, and also an ID RSA. So first I'm going to remove this certificate.crt. And now and do I have an RSA here? Is ID underscore RSA. Let's remove that. Remove ID underscore RSA. Oh, it's remove protected regular file. You know what? Let's not get rid of that. I'm going to call, I'm just going to call it .key. Oh, this private key here. So I'm going to use, I'm going to do priv.key, private priv.key. I'll do that. Okay, so first, let's do the certificate, and I'm going to copy all this. And I'm going to do nano certificate dot CRT, and I'm going to paste that in here, and now Control X this and enter. Now I'm going to go back here and copy my RSA key. We're going to use these for access, so I'm going to copy this, go back here, and now nano, and I'm going to call it priv.key. And paste that here. Okay. So now that we have it, we can use SOCAT to connect to that service again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do SOCAT, actually, I'll do it from here. SOCAT. What do I do? SOCAT is a TCP. So it says for a single connection, which is what we're doing. Let's see. Need to take a look at my scan again, see if there's a name that I can use. Is it PyChat perhaps? Just giving this some thought, folks. All right, I'm going to pause for a minute, do a little research, be back with you in a minute. So the syntax that I am able to use is as follows. SOCAT STDIO SSL colon and let me just check on that port number one more time. And we're going to run it over this port, 54321. Yep. So 10.10.51.150 colon 54321 comma cert equals certificate dot crt comma key equals priv dot key and then verify 0. All right, look at this. Yabba dabba doo. Welcome, Barney Rubble is authorized. Okay, so we've gained some access here, and let's try out a few things. It says this service is for login and password hints. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and ask. Look at that. Password hint. It looks like a code of some type for the user Barney Rubble. Okay. So now I'm going to SSH into Barney Rubble as user Barney Rubble using this key. That can't just be a hint. That's obviously a key of some sort. So I'm going to open up another tab, SSH. User is Barney Rubble. It says, welcome, Barney Rubble is authorized. I wonder if it's Barney space Rubble. At 10.10.51.150. Could not resolve hostname Barney. I'm going to get rid of the Rubble and just do Barney. Okay, that worked. Yes. Barney's password. I always have a hard time with this. It never actually pastes correctly, but I'm going to give it a shot. Sweet, we're in. Okay. Let's have a look around. There's a Barney.txt. Let's go ahead and cat that. All right, there's our first, official flag. I think there were other questions I had to answer, but I'm going to copy this first, go back to our room, and now, what is the Barney text flag? Okay, well, we got that much. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's see what the hint says. Explore the higher ports. One is ready for a TLS socket with key up from 909. Okay, we're on the right track. So now we've got three more. What is Fred's password? What is Fred.txt? And what is the root.txt flag? Okay. So we are in as Barney. And this is a Linux machine. It's a Ubuntu machine. Let's do the usual sudo -l. Well, we have that password already. Let me see. I think I just used it. Look at this. I've seen penguins that can type better than that. Screw you, buddy. Let's copy this again. This is Barney's password. So we're lucky in that holy crap, and you call yourself a rocket scientist. Actually, no, that's my daughter. Anyway, this is going to suck. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to type this without it screwing up on me. This is Barney's password. See what I mean? I always have trouble with this. Oh, come on. Do not make me type this in manually. I will not be happy. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it manual because this never works for me. D1AD7C. D1AD7C. 0A38. 0A38. 05955. 05955. A35EB. A35EB. 260 dab. 260 dab. 418. 418. 0DD. 0DD. All right, finally. Well, that was like pulling teeth. Need some more beer. Okay, so it says here, Barney can run the following commands on Bedrock. So it's the cert util feature that we need to exploit so that we can get privilege escalation. So let's check all the certificates. We're going to do an ls cert util. Or cert util ls. Okay, so what we're going to do now, here's all our certificates that are on this machine. Which one do I pick? I believe it's going to be Fred CSR PEM. So now we're going to run a command to generate the key. If I'm not mistaken, it is cert util -a fred.csr.pem. Okay, that worked. So what do I have here? I have generated client key and generated certificate under user share ABC certs. So there's the RSA key and there is the certificate. So now that I have them, I'm going to do another SOCAT session using this certificate and this key. So I am now first going to go here and copy this key. This is the RSA key. I'm going to open up another tab. What am I going to call this one? I'm going to call this Nano. I'm going to call this Fred dot, no, just Fred key, right? Fred dot key. Now Control X and Y, and we have Fred.key. Now I'm going to go back here and copy my certificate. You may have noticed that I always begin and end the copying with the lines that say dash 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 begin certificate and end certificate. You have to include those, otherwise it doesn't work. Need a name for this. Nano Fred Flintstone cert. Fred Flintstone dot cert. Okay. All right. Now, let's see if we can log in as Fred. So SOCAT SDIO SSL colon 10.10.51.150. colon 54321, comma, Fred Flintstone.crt, comma, cert equals Fred Flintstone dot crt, comma, key equals Fred dot key, verify 0. All right, and Fred CSR PEM is authorized. Yabba dabba do. All right, let's have a look around, see what's in here. Oh, it doesn't know. We need a, oh, so we'll do, this is also the same thing. This service is for login and password hints. Let's see if we can get that here. All right, and there's Fred's password. The username is Fred CSR PEM. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to copy this because it's Fred's password, and that is one of the questions here. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that here and submit that. And that's our second question. Let's get back to a terminal. So now I'm going to open up another tab because we are now going to SSH into this machine again, but this time as Fred. So SSH, and the username is, what was that again? Fred CSR PEM. Fred CSR PEM at 10.10.51.150. And what is Fred's password? Yeah, I have a lot of trouble with this, but whatever. I'm going to give it a shot. Maybe it'll take it. Maybe it'll make me type it in manually. Huh. What did I screw up? Fred CSR PEM at 10. That must be the password because it accepted it in the question, so maybe I just have to type it in manually. So it's the capital Yabba, capital Dabba, capital 1. There's 4 zeros and exclamation point. So Yabba, Dabba, do 1, 2, 3, 4, exclamation point. Oh man, what is going on? That had to be the password. Yabba dabba D. There's 4 zeros and an exclamation. It's accepted here, which means that has to be the password if the question itself was accepted. So it must be me. Y A B B A capital D A B B A capital D 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation point. Okay, where am I going wrong? User equals Fred CSR PEM. Shouldn't be in quotes. I don't think it's in quotes. How did I do that for Barney? I did SSH Barney at this, right? And then I it says Fred CSR is authorized. Copy that. SSH. All right. 10.10.51.150 YABBA, capital D, ABBA, capital D, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, exclamation. Huh. I do have the IP address, right? 10.10.51.150. That's correct. Should I do sudo SSH? Fred CSR P. I wonder. Or is it with the quotes? Fred CSR PEM end quote at 10.10.51.150. Capital Y, Yabba, Dabba, do, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's not working either. Let's go back to this for a second. It says welcome. Now, if I look at Barney for a second, when I did Barney, now the key fingerprint was already added for this machine. 10.10.51.150. It accepted Barney at whatever. Okay, so that's correct. Fred CSR PEM is authorized. One, 2, 3, 4, exclamation. User is Fred CSR PEM. So SSH, maybe sudo SSH, Fred CSR PEM at 10.10.51.150. Huh, I had to sudo it. Okay, now let's see if it'll take it. So capital Y, A, B, B, A, capital D, A, B, B, A, capital D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this, exclamation point. What the heck? What am I getting wrong? Let's try to copy it again. Typing it in manually is not working. Maybe the reverse will give me something. Let's see, where am I going wrong? Need a minute to figure this out. Be right back. Alright, so I started playing around with the usernames and discovered that although this says user is Fred CSR PEM, it turns out the user is actually just Fred. Don't know why that didn't present itself before. Had to play around. But we're in. And I'm glad we're in. So now that we're in, Fred is just a user. And there's a Fred.txt. So let's cat that. Spell it right first. And there is flag number 3. Let's go ahead and copy that here. Put that here. Last question, what is the root flag? So let's go back and take a look at our permissions. We did that already. Sudo -l. Okay. Fred may run the following commands on Bedrock. So it looks like under bin base 64 we can get pass.txt under the root flag. So, and it says no password. So I am I'm going to just try this out. Switch user. It says no password. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Well, okay, so I forgot. It's base 60. It's telling us there's a base 64 code somewhere under user bin base 64. So now I'm going to do sudo usr, right? It's listed here, bin base 64 /root /pass.txt. And there's our base 64. So I'm going to copy this now. And I'm going to go to our old friend CyberChef. So from base 64, I'm going to go ahead and paste, copy this again. Maybe it'll do it this way. Yep, it did. Is it? Oh, I missed a character. Of course I did. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I'm bad with syntax, which is why I need cheat sheets all around me. So let's copy all of this. Okay, it's given us this code here. And this is most likely the password. So thank you, CyberChef. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to the terminal and do switch user again. And this time I'm going to offer up what CyberChef has offered. What is that? Oh. Please don't make me type in that long-ass thing. Okay. I'm going to switch user again. Something about terminals and not taking... All right. Much to my wretched dismay, I'm going to have to type this out manually. So, Let's turn on my caps lock. LFKEC 5 to ZKRCX SWKXIZ VU 43KJG NMX URJSLF WVS 52, I hope that's a 0. PJAXUTLNJJVU2 RCWN Man. What's here? Oops. Let's take a look at this for a second. Where am I right now? I'm in home/Fred. Okay, what if that is not the password? So I am going to copy this now, just so I can have it. I wonder. I'm wondering if maybe I need to move it to MD5 or some other thing. Maybe it's this. I'm going to roll the dice and see what this does. I'm going to copy this. No, actually, well, let's try it and see. SU. All right, I'm going to take we're going to kill this again. Go back to base 64. Let's see. So we've got this. I'm going to take this now. I'm going to copy this and go to hashes.com. See what it does with this. I feel like there's CAPTCHA for everything. Okay, 52T. It says one hash was checked. Oh, one hash was checked, 0 found, not 1 found. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to take this, copy this, see if this works, see what this gives me. KF9 JPE. Let's see, this is the code I got from that before. 2 hashes were checked, 2 found. Let's take a look at this for a second. So this is what was This is interesting. Alright, so if I copy all of this, let's go to our old friend decode. No. Decode.fr. Yep. These are all different decoding sites that I like to use. Hashes, basic CyberChef, decode.fr. Let's see. I'm going to pause for a second while I figure this out. No need to make you all wait. Back in a few. Alright, so I learned something new, which was pretty cool, that I want to show you. So we're looking at our CyberChef again. You remember that I took the code from here, put it into CyberChef, and the result was this from the base 64. And then I'm going to get rid of this for a second because apparently this button here, which I've never used before, it says from base 32, from base 64 will produce this code. I hit this and it produces this hash. So now I can copy this and I'm going to go to CrackStation. I like to use CrackStation. And I believe I can crack this just so. So look at this. It was this hash all along, an MD5 hash, which is more or less deprecated. Flintstone's vitamins. So now I'm going to copy this, go back to my terminal, switch user, paste it in. Hopefully it takes it. And now it says we're root, which is the happiest part of all. And let me see if I can CD into root. No. All right. We already got the Fred.txt. Now we have to get the root flag. Root.cd root did not work. What if I just cd? Okay, just thought there's root.txt. That's the end of it. So now I'm going to cat that. There's our last flag. Let's copy that here. And with that, this room has been pwned. I hope you enjoyed our time together today. I hope you learned something. I sure did. Every day is a learning experience. And so if you had a good time today, I encourage you to please like and subscribe. And hope you'll all join me in the next video. And as I like to always say, hack the planet.